Hello, good morning. How are we doing today? Thank you for joining us once again. And thank you for so far. I appreciate every one of you. So, this morning I want to speak to us regarding the that sense of possibility that we had as children growing up. That child that believed that everything is possible, that there were no limits, that there is nothing that he or she cannot do, and there is nobody he or she cannot interact or interface with. You remember that child that used to be that could interact with people along ethnic lines without any suspicion. You could interact with any kind of human being. You were so innocent. You believed that you could actually build skyscrapers with mods, with clay. You believed that a lot of things could be achieved. You didn't understand the limitations of society. That child that believed that he or she could go to the moon did not have any boundaries in terms of limitations. The child that wanted to take that leap without even minding the heights. I want to talk to us this morning about that child and how it is important to rediscover that child. Either I call it child or I call it that innocence, that sense of innocence and possibility that existed in your life before environments, before culture, before society, before religion gagged us up, before all these limitations showed up in our life. And when you made that belief, you believed that you would be the best doctor, the best lawyer, the best engineer, the best businessman, the biggest businessman, the richest. And then all of a sudden, somebody walked up to you and said, hey, we all had this dream, but Nigeria happened to us. Hey, I know you love everybody, but be careful of that man. Be careful of that woman. She is from so place. He is from so place. I know there is a place for caution in life, but you also agree with me that some of the things that people have come up to us with, some of those advice, some of those cultural presentations have undermined how much we could have achieved in life. At a point in your life, that's your Muslim friend, that person that is not from your ethnic group, you cut off from him or her, not because of the experience you had with him or her, but the experience of other people. How many of us are caught up in a web not based on our experience, was based on other people's experience, or even maybe a misapplication of their experience, or maybe their shared sentiments? How have you been trapped in the web of other people's issues that had nothing absolutely to do with you? The prevailing culture of society has caught up with every one of us, and people no longer believe that they could achieve great and mighty things. Today, the situation has become so bad that when we see people achieve great heights, we find a way to describe them in such that justifies our current state. Someone sees someone like Elon Musk, who is thinking at the level of a child. It takes a childlikeness to think that you can go to space and build a city there. It's a childlike mind that thinks that way. The average adult does not. We are too overprotective. We are too cautious to think in that manner. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. Now, to protect and justify our current state, we'll see these people as, some people will even say that he's the Antichrist. Some people will say terrible things about people that have achieved certain milestones to justify their current state, because society has put a lead on you as to what you can achieve. You believe that there are certain achievements that are for people from certain parts of the world, and they are not for you. And I see this all over Africa. I see this all over Africa. Certain achievements are reserved for the whites. We don't even believe that we can do it. Why? Not because that child that is 5 years old, 4 years old never believed. He believed. But by the time he starts getting to age 10, someone shows up in his or her life to let her know that I have tried this thing, it didn't work. I have done this thing, it didn't work. And then cast his or her limitations on you. And guess what? The child that never tried, the child that never dared, now believes that he or she cannot achieve certain strides in life. This is where a lot of the challenges come from. Most of the things we fear, we never experienced. Most of the things we worry about, we never experienced. We're just building on information based on the fears of other people, based on the experiences of other people. Somehow, funny enough, sometimes these people did not even have the same experience. It was also the same information that was transmitted to them that they are transmitting to you. So someone says the water is deep. But the question is, who last checked whether the water was actually deep? Am I saying there is no place for caution in life? No. Caution is part and parcel of life. However, in being cautious, you must not kill the possibility mindset. You need to always go back to being that child that believes everything, believes that everything is possible. I try to imagine it. Look at the current civilization of the world. If everybody was afraid to try, would we have come to this level in life? If everybody was afraid to try, would the innovations of mankind be possible? Should we have had airplanes? Sometimes when I fly with these big aircraft or in these big aircrafts, I begin to wonder, what if men did not try? What if men did not try? What if people decided not to put into work what their hearts imagined? What if? Where would society has been? For you to achieve great heights in life, you need to go back to being a child. You need to go back to being a child. Culture, society, the environment is there to limit you. Is there to remind you of how many people have failed in that particular area of life. But the innocent child will always try. You spank him today, he does it again tomorrow. You spank him again, he tries again tomorrow. And then over time, sometimes we hit them and hit them and hit them and adjust them to something that they were never designed to be. And when they refuse and insist that they want to pursue that goal, sometimes we mistaken and call them stubborn. But it's a child that has a crazy possibility mindset and believes that everything is possible, or what she had imagined and imagined is possible. To achieve great heights in this era where there are a lot of information, a lot of chaos, most of them sharing fears about what is possible, sharing fears about interpersonal and inter-societal and community relationship. You need to return back to being a child. Experiences, yes, there are a lot to learn from them. but never shut down the door of possibility because of certain experiences that you've had. The way you think, your mentality is important if you must achieve great heights. Look at what people do with marriage today. A lot of people believe that you can't have a good marriage because of the experience of a few that are loud. But you can have the wonderful marriage, and people are having wonderful marriages. That thing you believed as a child is still very possible. That thing you believed that no other person is doing, and you believe that you're the only one you can achieve this, is possible. It's possible. This is a short one, and I want to advise you, don't ever lose that child or that childlikeness, that sense of innocence. While you are being cautious, while you're learning the ropes, while you must also listen to advice and admonitions, don't shut down the door of possibilities. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. Bye.